Hi, it's Sean McCann from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of next weekend's Breeders' Cup, and what a weekend of racing we've got. The pre-entries came through yesterday, Wednesday, and again, I think it's fair to say all the big guns stood their ground. Let's quickly go through some of the big races. I'll start with Midday, as she bids to emulate Ouija Board, another Newmarket horse, by winning back-to-back Breeders' Cup filly and mares turf. And I think she'll do it. I think she's in a different class. I think she's currently 5-6 with ourselves at Stan James, and I think she deserves that when you consider that she won last year. More rain would help, of course it would, but so far this season she's been in sensational form. Prix Vermeil, Yorkshire Oaks, the Nassau Stakes. Remember the Nassau Stakes, Tom Queally took a tug and let Stasolita go past, and she picked her up very, very easily. I think she's a top class mare, and I think she'd stood a chance if she'd have gone for the Arc de Triomphe and Interest and Connections. No, they must have been tempted to go for the Arc, but they didn't. They decided to keep her fresh, keep her to her own sex, and I think she will win and take all the beating as well. When you think the second horse, Red Desire, is a Japanese horse, and she was beaten by Harvey last time, and I think it'll take an act of God for Red Desire to beat Midday, when you think Harvey was previously trained by Sir Michael Stout in Newmarket, and I don't consider her in the same class as Midday. On to the Breeders' Cup Mile, and if Midday's going for a repeat, then of course the great Goldikova is going for a three-peat, and it's well documented, her brilliance, her greatness, and it'd be fantastic, I think, for racing if she bows out at the top. She of course won the Prix Forêt last time, and of course this time last year when she won her second Breeders' Cup Mile, she was beaten in the Forêt. Second favourite with ourselves, she's 11-10. Goldikova 7-2, second favourite. Paco Boy's raced against Goldikova 4 times, has been beaten 4 times. Okay, Goldikova is not invincible. She was beaten of course on a penultimate start by McPhee. McPhee of course had previously won the StanJames.com 2000 Guineas early season. There's no McPhee in this field. I would be staggered if horses such as Proviso, Goldikova's run against Proviso many times in Europe, and she is the 4th favourite, and I think Goldikova will take all the beating. It wouldn't be great to see her go out right at the top for Freddie Head. Freddie Head's suggesting in the European press this week that she's never been better. That'd be fantastic if there's yet another Group 1 next to the brilliant mare Goldikova. On to the Breeders' Cup Turf, a fascinating race. Workforce, the Derby winner, the Grand Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winner, but no Arc winner has ever won at the Breeders' Cup. And when you consider the horses such as Dylan Thomas 2007, Saki 2001, we've also had Trompolino, Solmarez, going back of course to the great Dancing Brave in 1986, who won probably the greatest Arc ever, and it was beaten in the Breeders' Cup Turf. Now, what makes Workforce different? Well, he is lightly raced. His sequence, of course, is 1 lost, 1 lost, 1. So he ought to get better, or get beaten rather, if that sequence is to be maintained. But I mean, he's 11-10 again with ourselves at Stan James on from the form book. He ought to be odds on as well. It's just that he keeps sort of having these, Sir Michael Stout and Khaled Abdullah and his racing manager Teddy Beckett. They seem to take the time to make the decisions, and whether we read too much into that. On a line of form, he deserves to be, in my case, around about a 5-4 on shot. Beckabad is a son of Cape Cross, and of course Cape Cross was the side of the Great Sea of the Stars last year, and there's no question that Beckabad needs an out-and-out gallop in a mile and a half, and also better ground than he got at Longchamp. Remember, the time at Longchamp was the slowest since Saki in 2001, so it was on very slow ground, but they also didn't go much of a pace. That was a wonderful ride by Ryan Moore as well. As many in France think that Beckabad on better ground can reverse the placings, I'm not sure. There's no question if the Workforce turns up that won the Derby, the Workforce turns up that won the Arc, he will win that Breeders' Cup Turf. And 11-10, I can't have Dangerous Midge or any of the American challenges for that. We of course haven't got anything, a challenger in the dirt race, in the big race, in the classic, but it will, if I just give my tuppence worth as well, just the fact that you have a 6-year-old mare who's raced 19 times and won 19. She's been odds-on favourite in, I think, 14 of the last 15 races. The only time, of course, was last year. She played up at the stalls. She didn't look as if she was going to go in. She gave the boys a start, and she hammered them. She's a year later, she's a year older, she's now a 6-year-old, she's 19 from 19, but that was on pro ride and this is on dirt. Can she beat Looking at Lucky? I want to say go Zenyatta. I don't think she'll win. I think it'll be 19 from 20 and not the impeccable unbeaten 2020. But I think we all want Zenyatta to win. I think even John McCrigg will be shouting go Zenyatta this year. But I just think it'd be Looking at Lucky. Be lucky.